My name is Shai Groskop. I'm proud of two things in my life. I'm proud of my kids, my family, and I'm proud of my career choice. This is my second career, and I'm proud of the fact that I've changed into education and I became a teacher, and I'm quite successful in it. The good thing about living in London is I can get my favorite spices and use it. I really like cooking and mainly Mediterranean food. I'm quite kitsch when it's come to music. I mainly enjoy 80s pop music, divas, big divas.
Tell us, what are you terrible at?
Oh, getting on time, being punctual. So, my name is Shai, and the last thing you can tell about me is that I'm shy. I'm not shy. My story tonight is a tribute to a Jewish man who thought that the most important thing in life is family. And I want to tell you the story. I born in Israel, and I grew up in the 70s, 80s, in a very small town, very remote, in the middle of the desert. I'm the youngest son in the family. I have three older sisters, and my dad was a Holocaust survivor, and my family was quite traditional. From a very young age, I knew that I'm gay. I never had doubt about that. I didn't feel uncomfortable about that. But it's not something that you want to share, especially when you grew up in a small place, when everyone knows everyone, and it's a very machoistic and quite conservative. So I never shared it, and I never told it to anyone until I was about 18. At that point, I decided that I want to meet someone. So how will I meet someone? We are talking about early 90s, no Facebook, no social media. So how will I meet a guy? So I put an advert in a local magazine in Tel Aviv. That was the way to meet other guys when you are gay at that time. Oy vey, I got 85 responses. I thought I'm a polite boy, I'm supposed to answer all of them. No, I didn't. But one of them was a letter. Quite short and sarcastic. I liked it, but I didn't respond. It was a guy from Jerusalem, and I kept the letter. And at that point, I joined to the army, and I know it sounds weird, but the letter was in my pocket for the entire time. Until one night, when I was in a guard tower, and I decided I'm going to write. So I wrote him a response, and we start to write each other letters. Yes, letters, not emails. It takes time, weeks. And we start to send each other letters. And we couldn't figure how we can meet. He's from Jerusalem. I'm from the small town in the middle of the desert. The only middle place in between is Hebron, and you don't want to have a gay blind date in Hebron. At one point, my army unit set a visit to a museum in Jerusalem. Great, I'm going to meet him. So I called him, and I said, listen, I have a few hours. If you want to meet me, come to meet me in the museum. I'm not going to travel in Jerusalem, just come to meet me in the museum. He said, okay. And we met.
It was Yad Vashem, the Holocaust Memorial Museum. So for a second generation of the Holocaust, it's a natural to have a blind date in Yad Vashem. My home was always a very welcoming place, and we always been encouraged, even the fact that it was a traditional family, we always encouraged to bring friends. My dad wanted the house to be full, always. So I invited him for Shabbat. I took a risk with that, but I said, I'll go for it. Now imagine in your head, Friday night, Shabbat meal, the whole family gathering, the wine is passing between each other. In my family, the tradition is the wine passing from the older to the youngest. And then there was a very short point that the cup was stuck, and we had eye contact between us and smile. The very next day, my dad called me and said, Shai, yes, Dad, I know what's happening here. What's happening here? I know what's happened between the two of you. You're gay. No, I'm not. I'm not gay. Shai, don't lie to me. I know. I saw it last night. I saw the eye contact. That was the first time my dad literally dragged me out of the closet. It wasn't easy. So my parents decided that they are going to a support group. So they made the effort, and they went to Tel Aviv, and they went to support group, and the moment they got into the place, guess what? Their best friend sitting there. It took my parents, but especially for my dad, about 2 to 3 sessions to realize that first, it's boring, and second, it's not the end of the world to have a gay son. At least it didn't bring me a non-Jewish lady. Few months later was Pesach. You know how Pesach looked like. Big thing. In my family, it was about 30 people sitting around the table. And my parents, before Pesach, decided to invite the guy, to invite him for Pesach. So he came, and he sat in with us. And you know the gossip, the family gossip. Who is that guy? It's Shai friends from the army. But who is that guy? So the seder is going on, and we got into the point that the meal served. Chicken soup. And when the chicken soup, everyone got the chicken soup with the matzah balls, knedalach. My uncle noticed that he got 2 knedalach, while Shai got 3 knedalach. He complained, how come Shai got 3 knedalach while I got only 2? So my dad raised his head and said, listen, quiet. Shai likes knedalach. He doesn't like meidalach because he's a feidalach. Some of you understood it, but if you didn't, ask your nearest Boba, she will explain you. A few years later, my dad called me to a men talk. Shai, you need children. Dad, I'm gay, you remember? Shai, you need children. But Dad, I'm gay, there is no option for that. I don't mind. Find the solution. There is no solution. You need children. But why? I need grandchildren. But Dad, you have already 8 grandchildren. You need children because there is no meaning for life without a family. So we debate about it, and we thought how we will make it. It was in Israel. There were solutions, but we didn't feel comfortable with them. Later on, we moved to Britain, to Yorkshire, and we found a solution. And the solution was to adopt. So 20 years after that Seder, we adopted a child, a baby. So here we are, 2 gay Israeli guys adopting a Yorkshire lass. Unfortunately, my dad passed away a month before she came. But I've managed to show him a picture of her and to promise him that we will name her after his mom.